Katrina always sends a copy of the notes she makes to her client before the reading, so there is a date and time stamp on them. Her notes are becoming quite famous. Why don't we take a listen?
Hello, Christy. How are you?
Real.
And Brittany.
Hi.
Hello, how are you? And I'm going to bring up your picture. Here he is. This handsome man. I just want to let you know, good looking guy, funny as hell. It's just his personality is pull my finger and then pull this one. Do you get it, girls? That's exactly
Yeah.
what kind he is. And I felt like, first of all, what was your intake on your notes when I sent them over to you? Because
Most of them were pretty accurate. We did have a couple of questions on some of them that didn't make sense to us.
it's great. I love that. I love hearing that part because it's either that it's going to be identified or it's going to take a family member to answer it. And
Yeah.
so that's the part. So I'm going to put him up in here for a second. I want everybody to see. The first thing that I saw is I definitely feel like the family has definitely have had fishing. There's fish everywhere, big, little, and I don't feel like fishing is only done with a fishing pole either. I know that sounds weird, but I think it's done in all different traditions. Maybe even by arrow. I feel like somebody is using a bow and arrow and trying to get a fish. So I hope that those will be something that you'll be able to answer. And I got pink around him. Once again, I know that color because it's October. So does October mean anything to you for this young gentleman?
Pink was his favorite color, and then since it was his favorite color, he liked the whole breast cancer awareness.
I just checked into the area. I just wanted to say that I saw pink around him. And I'm supposed to let you know that grandma is with him, without a doubt.
Of course.
And she says she loves you too. So I want to let you know that I know you sent me one picture, but they all came in, and especially when they answer, you wonder if they're together because they put it onto this paper. And he's looking great. I just want to let you know. It was very interesting because I heard that song Danny Boy.
So we had to Google that because we were kind of lost on that.
Okay, I don't know, and it's associated. So, by any chance, do you know anybody by the name of Danny?
That's his name.
I don't do names. You just heard me with Candy saying the only way that I got is because they identified something that I recognize. You know, I don't know a Jeff, so I wouldn't know, but I know the song Danny Boy. So, did you guys listen to Danny Boy? Did you notice that it was a song and goes
We
back?
knew it was a song, but we
But
didn't
you didn't
know
know that
any.
I identified it as a song. I didn't know it was his name, but
Right.
because you didn't recognize it. But I love that we're getting there. Maybe I'm going to start getting some names. I love it. But he's very funny, and that was his way of expressing to me, you know, going back and forth. And when I also get Danny Boy, I get it where you know, you're riding grandpa or your brother, not your brother. It is this like an uncle?
Yes, it's my uncle, and it's her dad.
Oh, your daddy. Okay, no wonder we're sitting there because I was like brother, and they're a little bit of everything together. But did he used to put you, both of you? I feel like it's both of you, that you would get on his knee and do that bouncing around, and whoop, you're gonna fall and come back together,
Yeah, he
and then
did
he
that
would
to
let you
me.
go, and you would go like this, and you would try to stay online. I hope it's almost like you're riding his leg, like they do it on a bull, you know, and it that's exactly what he's still doing. And I just want to let you know how much he loves you guys. I didn't have no idea that both of you are going to be here. And baseball, and this was weird. Another thing that I saw him playing is there's this ball and it's rolling in the grass. You know, you don't usually do balls in grass, but
Croquet.
So our family is real into playing croquet at our family gatherings, and he would be the one to always win. So he was like the champion of croquet. No one could win.
What's up with the grass, man? Why is he talking about it can't be this high? What's that about?
Well, that's because we had a family gathering and my husband doesn't cut the grass short for croquet. And that's all he talked about was we can't play croquet at my house because my husband won't cut the grass.
Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, I didn't know what that meant, but I love how
So
this
he tried stomping it down with his foot to get his ball to roll.
I love heaven because they're still them. And thank you for sharing that because I would never, now that you bring up croquet, I get it, but I did not understand
Yeah.
prior to that. And his is a blue ball. I keep showing me blue, like a navy blue. Um, so I don't know what don't croquet come in
Yeah.
different colors?
Yeah.
I just see him with this blue one. And he says he's sorry to everyone.
Yeah.
I want to let you know that he said he was sick.
Which we don't understand because we don't know. I mean, he was very personal, very kept to himself, would not open up.
No wonder it's like that on these pages. Now, my pictures, when you look at my notes, anything that's in big letters, and you have quite a bit of big lettering, especially when he said he was sick, it was underlined. And when he states to it, I want to let you know, I've been in this situation. I've made a decision on my own behalf, and I believe that he made his own too. He said he wasn't going out like that. Period. He didn't want nobody wiping his butt. He didn't want nobody having to take care of him, rolling around. I truly believe that his body, and if I was to choose, have you guys had had a autopsy?
No, because they did not rule. They sent things over to the medical examiner and they did not do the autopsy. He felt that it was not needed.
Well, it's because he was ruled for one thing, but the autopsy would confirm why he did that. Do you understand what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say?
absolutely.
I know that there's family members here, even though his daughter's right here. He's hoping that you understand the decision that he made. And when I look at it, I would say with all of my heart, I think that it has something to do with something that invaded his body. And I'm going to go with cancer because that's the first thing that's invasive. And I'm going to go towards the like in the colon area, his lower portion of his back. And so do you remember him slowing down a little bit, and his walk was off? You remember that his walk was a little off? It would be like, I know you recognize, because these aren't things that he let you know, but he's trying to explain what he dealt with.
Yeah, he had complained of having some lower back issues.
I want to let you know that all of these tie in together, and whatever is and was to him, there was only one way. There was only two things. It's either this way or going through the extreme pain, going to die anyways. I want to let you know that's exactly what he said. He was going to die anyways.
That sounds like something he'd say.
He was. And he didn't want you guys to see the diminishing, the ugly, the having to take care of them and not be. That is why. Okay. This is the main reason. And I can deal with that. I can understand that. I'm hoping you will too. There's no way that I will take any kind of treatments. I feel all it does is make you sick. And the days that you do have with your people, it's us seeing you so sick and hurting and in pain and then sick again.
Yeah.
You might only get a few days or stuff. So this is what his sorry is. This is what he wants you to know, that he took responsibility in the way of having mercy with the rest of the family. This isn't something that he's saying that he took himself. Look, it's not like he's saying he took himself out because of mad or disappointed in anyone, or he couldn't get by anything. This was because of a body breaking down, and those were the alternatives that he chose. I hope in all his glory that I portray that and I share that with you, because that's the truth. Especially with this being his daughter, and I can imagine, and I know because I'm being shown you were a part of the process of what was seen. So I hope that wipes away what you saw. Okay.
I do have a question, Katrina.
Uh-huh.
It says that it says grandma said it was okay, hurt so bad. What can you give any insight of what that means?
Yes, I do believe that what it means is he said, please forgive me. It was a decision I had to make. And
Okay.
he said that and grandma was there when he crossed over. And there's no doubt in my mind, I believe that there was some impairment in him right before this occurred, whether it might have been a prescription or a drink. I just feel quite relaxed. I feel like in a mode of impairment. Okay, so it was to relax it. It was to say, okay, here it's coming. But he made his decision, and he saw his grandmother right
His
there.
mother.
Yeah, his mother, your grandmother, right
Yeah.
there. And she said it was okay, because you know that she's religious. This was the other thing that she believed in Jesus and the church. And your father, it was one of those things that we better believe it, but he didn't want her to be disappointed in him, and she wanted him to know that it was okay. That's what that meant. So it was the proof of him crossing over with a loved one with him, which I always say does. Okay. He wasn't being judged, and he's in heaven. So important for you to know that. And is there cremation, or were you guys talking about cremation?
He was cremated, but he didn't like funerals.
I don't either. And I hope that nobody comes to my kids know not to have a funeral for me. And my body is, well, it's not me. So
Right.
it doesn't matter. And I just saw that. And he says that he's okay. He's not in any pain. He is in heaven with his, your grandmother, his mom. And he said that he's so proud of you helping the family. So I know that, Chrissy, you've been helping her. Look at how you got her right there. That is helping out and trying to be her wing. And, he is, always will be, and won't change. He's a funny guy. And you know what? He just brought up somebody that I love so much. Jerry Lewis. Do you remember watching Jerry Lewis with
Yes.
your uncle? Well, guess what?
He
He
was
just
always
stepped
big in
him
my
up
grandma's
here, right
house.
here. I love Jerry Lewis. I met him in Vegas. So this is proof of letting you know that he's good.
What
Please.
about it says back and or what does that say?
Yeah,
Back
his
and head.
back. Yep, his back. It started in the back, and it was giving him headaches. So I believe that it stretched from the beginning to the end. It was full body. Okay, that's
Okay.
what that meant. I'm hoping. Is there any questions that I might be able to answer? And I hope that this gives you some peace.
Good question.
You're my forever friend. It was my
Yeah.
honor. Thank you very much for sharing him, and I hope that I portrayed his personality, his message, and his love as genuine as I possibly could. And you know what? He was a big hugger. Because he just came over to give you guys the most strong and lift your ass right off of the floor type of hug. Okay, you remember them, right?
Yeah.
It's because that's what he's doing. Okay, so it's all right, and it's all right that you're going to get some of that jewelry made. I see you looking at this. You
Yeah,
got it.
I did it this morning.
I love what I do. I love what I do. I love it. He did. I knew it was a jewelry. I was pointing. I just wasn't sure if you were wearing it or not. But please know that he's around. It's true. They love you. And if you know of anyone that could use my services, ladies, I would hope that you would think of me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for sharing. You have a blessed day and happy
You too.
Thanksgiving.